Now, the Paralympics opening ceremony will take place tomorrow as Paris once again becomes the backdrop for some of the world's most talented athletes to compete for a coveted gold medal.
The event will kickstart 11 days of sports, welcoming thousands of spectators and para-athletes to the city, including Britain's most decorated Paralympian, Dame Sarah Storey. Our sports reporter Jo Linsky has been speaking to her ahead of her 9th time competing at the Games.
Paris 2024, for Dame Sarah Storey, the next remarkable chapter. At 46 years old, this will be her 9th Paralympics. A journey that started in 1992 has already led to history. Across 2 sports and more than 30 years, the 3 golds she won in Tokyo made it 17 in all, the most ever won by a British Paralympian. But still there was the drive for at least one more cycle and a Games close to home with her family there to see it.
The chance to have a normal Games, have a Games with spectators, just being able to kind of experience that atmosphere again was too good to turn down. And of course Charlie, who's never been to a Games, he won't quite be 7 when we get to Paris. So for him, both him and Louisa will hopefully remember this Games because Louisa was only 3 in Rio and she only has kind of fleeting memories, and she's not sure if those memories are from looking at photographs or from actually being there. And when you remind yourself that you hold all of these records and that this will be your 9th Paralympic Games, how do you feel when you reflect on achievements like that? I think the number of number 9 is kind of the thing that is most exciting. It's not something I ever had a dream about. I remember as a young athlete calculating that I might not be too old if I did 8 Games, but never ever thought 9 would be a possibility, and I think it's testament to the support I've had. Are you going into it thinking it could be your last one? I've never been into any Games thinking it's my last one. I've always just gone into it focusing on what the job is, and I think those sorts of decisions come later. For me, it's about making sure that I have no distractions and focus on giving absolutely everything, and then sit back hopefully with you know, my feet up and make some decisions about what next year looks like.
For Storey, these Games will be different. She goes in the road race and time trial, but won't compete in the velodrome. 2 golds would take her up the all-time standings to 19 overall, the 3rd most won by a para-athlete at the Summer Games. But records for Storey aren't the main motivation. 2 years ago, she broke her ribs in a crash. Just to get to Paris has been a team effort.
My family first and foremost have been able to pick me up from the various scrapes I've got myself into over the years and put me back together and helped me believe in myself again. Yeah, I feel really fortunate to still be contending, and hopefully it inspires other people to realise that you don't have to worry about age sometimes. You can just try and follow a dream you didn't know you had.
Well, I'm delighted to say we are joined now by 2 of Dame Sarah Storey's teammates on the paracycling team, golden couple, Neil and Laura Fachie. Morning to you both.
Morning.
It's great to have you on the show. Are you ready?
It's great to be here. Yeah, I think, you know, it's one day till the opening ceremony and 2 days till the team starts racing, and it's exciting. I think we're all really ready to get going and excited about it all.
Neil, tell us about the training. How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things as an athlete, you spend almost the entire year sort of fatigued from training, so you never actually go that quick until you get towards a race week. So we've almost been doing less training than the past couple of weeks, freshening up for this event. So we're starting to see that little bits of form just showing through, and over the next couple of days, I think that'll come through. The team's looking really good, really fast. The velodrome looks beautiful, and we can't wait to get out there now.
That is fascinating. So is it a little bit like, I don't know, when people train for a marathon, train and train and train, and then you taper off and do less? Is that what you do before this starts? And how does that benefit you?
Yeah, very much so. And, you know, often people ask that question, are you ramping up your training now going into an event? But it's very much the opposite. We're training as hard as we can almost the entire year. So you very much do have to get that, what we call the taper, right, so that you're at your quickest on the day that matters. And that's obviously takes a lot of practice and experience to get there. Between Laura and I, we have 9 games between us. So we're matching Sarah between us there. So we've got a lot of experience to offer in that regard. and we got it right in Tokyo, so hopefully we can do that again this time around.
And what's going to be great this time, and we often hear this, that the crowd really does give you that boost when it comes to, race day. And Tokyo, there were no crowds, so, it's nice to have those crowds back in the velodrome once again. And there's another addition, isn't there, Laura, this year? A little person cheering you on for the first time.
Yeah, our 22-month-old son will be in the crowds with my parents, and that's incredibly meaningful for us both. I think he will inspire us and push us on, and just to be able to share that experience with him. We know he won't remember it, but we will forever. So yeah.
Oh, and so in terms of like the emotion of it, when it comes to race day, how do you handle those emotions, knowing that families there? Laura, how do you do it?
I don't know. No, it does take hard work. I think both of us kind of have to. It's very hard. I find it harder to watch someone you love race compared to doing it yourself, because when you're the one doing it, you're the one in control. Whereas you have no control over what the other person is doing. So you have to. I found, come race day, I have to not forget that Neil's racing, but just sort of disassociate from it. And like I always say to my coach, because the day that both our main events are on is the same, so we race on exactly the same day. And I sort of say to my coach, like, just give me facts. I don't want to know. I don't want to talk about. I just want to know what time he's done, where he's finished, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. And that worked in Tokyo. So we're carrying it on through to Paris.
What are you most excited about for Paris? Because we were just looking at, and the Olympic has just been incredible. What else will you watch while you're there? What else will you go and see? What else will you be part of?
Yeah, I mean, the amazing thing about the Paralympics, and kind of missed this in Tokyo a bit because we couldn't get out and about and see other things, but you're just a small part of a hugely successful team in so many different sports. And we often don't see the other athletes from the other sports until the games every 4 years. So you kind of meet old friends around the village and things. And I think we're excited. I mean, because I'm only racing track, I get to go and watch these guys race the roads the following week as well. I guess we want to see how the athletics team do, because we both came from an athletics background as well. But there's so many exciting sports. I mean, wheelchair rugby, the swimming. I mean, it's countless. We're so successful as a nation as well. So getting tickets to go and see will be on the agenda for myself in the following week while Laura's busy racing.
Neil, Laura, we wish you both the very best of luck. It's great to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thank you very
much.